Hi folks, we're going to tie a little hopper pattern. In the vise here I've got a Camazon B175. This is a size 10, but this fly works well in 12s, but 10 will just help you maybe see a little bit better. So let's get stuck in. So starting the thread about 2mm or 1.5mm back from the eye, then form a foundation all the way to the back, thread finishing sort of in line with where the barb is if you're fishing a barbed hook. This is Glow Bright number 4, using this stuff up, and I've just wrapped it around a piece of card and then cut it. In here I've got 8 strands, I believe. So I normally start this Glow Bright frost with a few loose turns and then pull it in. That way you're not having to try and chase all the little butt ends. Then form down till you've reached your original starting point. This you can trim a little bit long, and then if need be fix that later. We're going to do a dubbed body, so to protect that I'm just introducing some wire. The wire tends to last a whole lot longer than either oval or flat. The body material is Claret seals fur, but in along with that I've introduced some saltwater dub blend. This mightn't show up very well on the camera, but the saltwater has a UV. Let me just turn off my light here a second. Oh, I didn't actually turn it off. So you can see the UV properties of the saltwater plus the tail, and I just find that extends the, there's no point in having just a bright tail and a little bit of extra. When I'm doing dubbing I put a little bit of this, goodness me, I've had this years, just put a little bit on my fingers and it just helps the dubbing to form a little noodle. So I've got approximately 2 inches of a dubbing noodle, and then we're just going to form a body up along here, and I'm stopping approximately 4mm from the eye, and then I'm going to form a nice little rib up the body, approximately 4 turns, and catch this, and pointing the wire straight towards the eye, at least 4 or 5 turns to catch that securely. So this is the body done. Rough flies for fish's eyes. I like to bring out a little bit of the seals for dubbing. Next on the cards here is knotted legs. I'll not tell you how long it takes to knot legs. It's a rather boring activity. 6 or 8, I don't really count these. This is just for a trigger point at the back, so I don't get too hung up on the direction of them. I just want them mostly pointing down. So on top of that, I then have some flashabou, and this is pretty much clear. And again, I'm only putting in a couple of strands of this stuff. I just moistened it there to make it behave, and putting those in on top, then I draw them down and then fold the little stubs back. That means one turn will effectively hold them in. Set that aside for your next fly. Now with these hopper legs, I want them always to be pointing down, so I'm going to put in a little tuft of claret. Well, this is more red than claret. Just a few spikes or tips of this. Again, I'm not even going to bother stacking it, because we're looking this sort of jaggled fly, and then we're just going to set the tips on top. So 2 turns or so, and then we're going to make a little platform for the hackle to run down. It's impossible to do this on the flat, so there's always going to be a taper. My claret cape isn't the best. This is the hackle, and we're just going to come down so there's not so much of the, again, it's not the best hackle. And just tie that in with the shiny face pointing me. Just to help the hackle separate a little bit, I put a very small amount of dubbing over, let's say over an inch of a very light dubbing needle, and just form that. Now, I have a very old book here which what I was taught with, and I actually wind the hackle ahead of the triangle. And I'm using probably the cheapest hackle pliers known in the world. I think these were like £1. I'm always on the lookout to get another pair because they're super light, and for these non-genetic capes that are a little bit weak, they don't tend to snap them the same. So once we've formed this, we've got a few stray fibres pointing forward, and then we just want to draw those back. And because we had the silk behind this, we can form a small but neat head and form a whip finish. Again, just to save time, I put a little bit of varnish, approximately 5mm worth of varnish on the thread, and that goes then into the whip finish knot. And that completes a claret hopper. Hope you enjoyed that, folks. Any comments, feedback, whatever, comment below. Thank you very much.